Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Football Manager 2016 with Milan, and here we are into the 5th season, I think. This is 2019, so we're going to be approaching the new decade very, very soon. And it's September, the transfer window's happened. Let's just get straight into the transfers and see how we've done. So a lot of players have gone out, as you can see here. Was managed to accumulate 24.3 million and we've spent just under 37 million pounds. So considering our transfer budget, which was approaching 200 million pounds, which is ridiculous. I mean, that is absolutely silly. I don't think I've done too badly there. I've also adjusted wages and things there, so that's why it's gone down a little bit further. But these are the transfers then. So the first one out was Jason Murillo. I know, a bit weird. This is because it was one of these things where you just get a bid come in just out of the blue, and you're like, actually, yeah, go on. Yeah, it just happens, and it's just an instant decision, and we made a bit of money on him, and I just thought, right, well, I can sell him and get an upgrade, So I just thought, let's go with that. Nigel de Jong, his contract ended. He's 34 years old now. He was, despite his experience, he was just constantly a walking yellow card. He's like Lucas Leiva, just constantly getting yellow cards, and he's so frustrating, especially when you have the likes of Fabinho and Blind, who don't get anywhere near as many as he does. So he was, and his wages were quite high as well. Zapata, he's another one now, 32 years old. He's over the hump of his peak, shall we say, and he's gone to Spartak Moscow for £750,000. And lastly, as you saw in the end of the last video, Christian Benteke went to Manchester City for £15 million. So we managed to make, as I say, just shy of £10 million profit on him. Not a bad decision, really, I think, when you consider the fact that he only scored 2 goals last year. I know he didn't start many games, but that was a reason why he wasn't scoring. It's a vicious circle. So that's where the main money came in, and then we've released a few kids. And Bertolacci's been the main person to go, and the traitorous bastard has gone to Inter Milan. I think, for free as well. Absolute bastard. So we'll be giving him a good kicking, I think, in the derby in a few months' time. So the players we've brought in then, quite a few kids, but there's been 2 main signings. First one is Kennedy, the current Chelsea player, the young Brazilian, who is now 23 years old, obviously it's 2019, and he's taken over Benteke's number 9 shirt. He could be good. Now, I am putting a lot of faith in him because he is now going to be sort of the main striker, and I do think him and Manea, both 23, 24 years old at this point, could be a great partnership. Bear in mind, Bacca and Menez are approaching the mid-30s. They're not going to be around forever. Certainly, I think Bacca has, at the absolute most, 2 seasons left, and that's being generous. The same with Menez. We've got Niang as well, but he is certainly now more of a rotation/backup player. I'm going to look to bring another one in, maybe either next summer or in January. We'll just see how it goes. If Kennedy, draws blanks and is not very good, and if Manea is a bit off, and Bacca and Menez aren't doing it, then we are going to have to definitely bring someone in. I'm trying not to panic buy, but if that happens, then it happens. Then we brought in Brad Guzan. Now this was more of as a response to, and unfortunately he's actually injured for 6 weeks, so that's no good. But this was a response to the Champions League semi-final. As you know, Donnarumma was injured during this period. He had a broken collarbone. He was out for 1 day. I technically could have played him, decided not to for the reasons given in the video, and decided to play my 19-year-old backup, which proved to be a bad decision as we lost 5-2. Whether I'm more experienced, a Guzan would have made a couple more saves. Maybe it would have been 3-2, 4-2. Obviously we won 2-0 in the second leg. Maybe he would have stopped another goal. I don't know. But this is basically a response to that. It's £400,000 from Liverpool. He actually never played for Liverpool. He never played a single game, which is quite funny. And then I'll come back to these 2 in a second. But the main signing here, this is sort of the Murillo replacement, kind of, is Timo Baumgartel. Now, you might have heard of this guy, you might not have. Chances are you've probably seen him though. There is a video on YouTube, it went around about maybe a year, 9 months ago, when this guy played and currently plays for in real life, and on the game played for until I bought him, Stuttgart. There was a video where he makes his debut, he comes on, and he makes a catastrophic error. He passes it, essentially, I think they're playing Dortmund, He passes it to the centre forward, opposing centre forward, and he just gives it away, and the centre forward scores, and he costs his team the game essentially. But it's not funny. What the main video sort of reason for being so popular is because the fans. He goes over to the fans to say sorry, I've let you all down, and they essentially embrace him and say, look, you don't have to be sorry, and they're sort of saying to him, it doesn't matter, don't worry, and it's all. I mean, I've kind of screwed that up a little bit, but if you watch the video, you know what I mean. They essentially console him and say, don't worry, it's not your fault, you're brave for going out there, type of thing. So check it out, Timo Baumgartel. It'll probably be one of the first videos you find if you search for on YouTube. But he's 23 years old now, so hopefully he'll be a lot better. It was quite a fee of £22.5 million. But and this is one of the sort of negatives about playing FMT. If I go to the there they are. So if you look at the transfer list here, now this has changed, but at the time, sort of in July, there really weren't that many great centre backs available. I think the best one available is worth about £3 million, and that was me perhaps being a bit impatient, but there really weren't many available, and certainly anyone under the age of, say, 26. Look at Dragovic here, he's 28, Manolas is 28, and then that's it. Transfer list is obviously I'm talking about. This one, I mean, you can get players at a much cheaper price with the transfer list, but if you're not, you're going to have to break the bank, as per Baumgartel here. And the last two, we've got the wonderfully named Chaka de Cruz, £2.7 million. He's now a web target man from France. He looks really good. If you look at his report here, could be good. And I think he's made a great start. I've sent him on loan to Serie B team FC Crotone, I think is how you say it. And he's made a pretty decent start. As you can see, 4 goals in 5 games. I'm quite excited to see how he'll get on. Whether he'll actually be here by the time he actually comes of age, I'm not sure, but we'll see. And lastly, Philippe Grenier, another Frenchman, young lad, again, not bad potential at all. I think he's not out. I've actually not sent him on loan. For some reason, I didn't have the option to loan him back. I couldn't find it. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. And that's pretty much it. So that's the transfer sorted. And this is how we're starting. Now, for some reason, my assistant did a shit job at arranging friendlies this year. We didn't actually play our first one until August. Make of that what you will. And we did lose badly to Juventus. But these are 2 games I skipped. So the Super Coppa I have no interest in. It's a bullshit tournament. That's not a tournament, it's just a bullshit game, like the Community Shield, like the Spanish version, I'm sure. They're all just nonsense friendlies, and I play all sorts of weird formations, just to make sure that my players get their match fitness up. That's what they're for. So we started the season quite well. Kennedy made a great start, 2 goals on his debut in the second half to beat Lazio. Davide Calabria, he's just gone strength to strength again. He signed a new contract in the summer, and he gets the first man of the match of the year. He was actually quite quiet, Kennedy, for the most part. Stefan de Vrij here, as you can see, or Stephen the Fridge, as some of you might know him, had him in his back pocket for most of the game, but all he needed was just 2 little chances, and the second one, as you'll see, especially in a moment, was a bit different. It was the chance for him to actually get away from de Vrij, and that's exactly what he does here. But what a belter of a ball that is from Davide Calabria. But if you think that's good, check this out now from Bilal Al-Sheikh on the free kick. Oh, and to his credit as well, a great run by Kennedy. Gets away from his man, and that's all he needed. And we've had 2 draws since. Al-Sheikh also scoring again this time. Also just swapping roles, I guess, to score. Unfortunately, Cagliari here did in fact score through Seydou Doumbé. Now, I just want to point something out. That might look like the goalkeeper's made a bit of an error. It's not. It's sort of bounced off the bar, and I think it's De Siglio who was highlighted there. He should have done a little bit better. I've actually looked at it in 3D, and he sort of swipes at thin air, and he does a really terrible job of clearing the ball. So yeah, that's kind of what happened there. So don't blame the goalkeeper. He actually tipped it onto the bar as far as I could see. I watched it in slow-mo, and he seemed to do a decent job. So not really the goalkeeper's fault, and that's why he's not 4.3 on the rating scale. And then we had a 0-0, so we've stopped the rot against Juventus. They dominated the game. Kennedy and Mania, I'm trying to get these 2 to partner properly. Fabinho in that DM role doing a great job. Everyone at the back doing a good job. So I thought that's one of the few times I can actually say, holy shit, our defence did well. So this is now the Champions League. This is going to be our first game. As you can see, these are the teams we're going up against: Olympiacos, Barcelona, and Ajax. Incidentally, this is how Barcelona are setting out. They've got Francisco Ruffetti as their manager. Andres Iniesta, as a 35-year-old, is still going. He's the captain, and he must be some mad leader legend type thing. I've not got La Liga active. I thought I activated it last season, and for some reason I haven't, so I don't know quite what happened there. Ter Stegen, who hopefully will be a Liverpool player. I'm hoping, according to the rumours. I mean, it could be complete bullshit, but there you go. Hopefully he'll be a Liverpool player soon. They've got Kurt Zuma, there's Marcos Rojo, Alexis. That's not Alexis Sanchez. They've brought Sanchez back. What? Okay, that's weird. Suarez is still there. There's Neymar, Rakitic. They're all there. Lionel Messi, incidentally, this is how he looks in 2019. 20s all over the place. He's 32 years old. Legendary striker. He's still worth £40 million. And I'm bloody terrified. Nearly 150 caps for Argentina here. Just 150. So this was the team that we're going to be playing against Olympiacos here. This theoretically should be the easiest game in the group, but I'm not so sure. They have Mayo playing for them. We've got Menez and Bakker up front, so them the classic two up front. Bonaventura, who have made a promise to, they'll have to play. Alessandro Ferri in the middle, again, taking a minor risk with him, but I want to see if he's good enough. Old Sheik on the right, Payet, and then we've got Baumgartel making his second appearance for us. Blind at right back. I need to give De Siglio a rest, he is constantly playing. And yeah, let's see how we do then. I just hope that Olympiacos haven't had some sort of takeover and they've signed 3 great players or something, but I just don't know. This Mayo is, some incredible talent, I've never heard of before. I certainly hope he isn't anyway. But I just want to point out as well, the more I've been playing this, the more I do feel as if I should be moving on soon, mainly because I'm not bored of Milan or anything like that. It's not. If it was, I wouldn't be playing it at all. But I do feel that I want to change teams now, and I've tried a few different things, and I've not really been able to get into any other things. And goodness me, what the friggin' hell was that about? Blind just did not make a tackle. I hate that, the way they just stand off them and let them sort of tiptoe the way closer and closer to the goal. Sorry, that just frustrates me so much. Here it is again. Right, we've got a chance here. We haven't really started yet. And Payet just gives it straight to them, and Donnarumma's forced into the save. Come on, boys. Just go counter. Let's just try and quell this for a second. They've started like a house on fire, and we just haven't got out of the first gear. Come on. Playing us off the park. And Bakker just doesn't look interested. I gave him 2 seasons before. I think that, as I say, that was being generous. I think he might be finished at the end of this season, especially if he replicates what happened last year. But he really was just a shell of his former self. I think he's still got maybe 8 or 9 goals, which is good, but I expect better from him. And they are dominating this game. They're having all the chances. Right, here we go. First chance here. Don't give it away, Payet. Thank you. There's Carlos Bakker. Chance maybe. Oh, he squared to Menez. Brilliant pass. It's so refreshing to see that happen. I'm just so used to strikers being so selfish and so annoyingly dim-witted, shooting from preposterous angles and stuff. Well, that's so good to see in Menez there. Well, that was a minor, slightly against the run of play, but I don't really care. It's just good to see a player pass the ball in the box. It's just so rare. Right, here is Bakker. I don't know if that's got something to do with his teamwork attribute or something, but yeah, that was quite good. Right, here's old Sheik, who's got away from his man, and there's Bakker. See, there you go, shooting back to form from a silly angle. Then again, he didn't really have much on, so I'm not going to complain. As I say, anyway, I've tried a few different databases. There is one that I have found that I recommend going on FM Scout, which I nearly tried. Unfortunately, because it's not a real league, I struggle to get to grips with it. And what it is an American Super League. It's sort of, I think the description of it said what would happen if soccer, let's call it soccer just for the sake of it, or the sake of it, sorry, was the main sport in America, not NFL, not baseball, not whatever, and each sort of town and city, like England and Spain and so on, had all their major cities and towns, and had major football teams. And it's really interesting. There's about, I think, 10 leagues or something like that, or maybe even more than that, maybe even like up to 20 if you include some of the lower regional ones. And it's very, very interesting. And I had a look and see if there was a Green Bay team. Probably my NFL team is the Green Bay Packers, unfortunately. And there is actually a Green Bay that I think they play at like tier 7. And it's very interesting. You have to put all the, what's it called? You have to put regens on from the start, so because they're not real teams, obviously. So you end up playing with a team full of regens at the beginning, and it is a bit weird, and I think it is a bit of an acquired taste, shall we say. So it's not for everyone, but if you go on FM Base, you can find it on there. I think I'm not going to change anything. We'll just go for that for now. Give it a chance. Obviously, if you go to the top division in that league, all the major cities and states have it. Chicago, New York, and so on. But I think there's a real challenge in there, and it is much better than the MLS. There's no draft or anything like that. But bear in mind, the whole thing is, shall we say, fictional. There's no real players in there. They're not real teams, and because it's a user-made database, there is possibility of a large amount of bugs. I'm not saying that there is, because I haven't played it that much. I just couldn't get into it. It was just too weird for me. I did think about doing a series with Green Bay, but again, it just felt weird, and I thought, well, if I can't get into it, you guys have got no chance, as a viewer. So I decided against it. But I am currently thinking of all different ideas, and I'm currently experiencing a bit of writer's block, really, when it comes to deciding what team to go next. However, what I'm going to be doing probably in the next, yes, in real time, week or so, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, probably will be switching teams from Milan. I've established this Milan team now, and I kind of did want to stick around to establish a team. I wanted to see if we could get Donnarumma past 1,000 Milan appearances. I know Paolo Maldini got to something like 920 or something silly like that. I wanted to see if I could sort of do the same with Donnarumma. And I wanted to be in charge whilst that whole thing happened. I wanted to have, the young lads, De Cruz, just brought in. I wanted to bring them through, but I don't think that's going to happen, because I do want to move on now. And I will probably go to a sort of lesser team, shall we say. I do want to something a bit different, or something a little bit more unique. And that's why I'm going to be activating leagues such as Wales and Ireland. I want to try and see if I can get in there, because I've not really seen anyone do Republic of Ireland save, or that's a domestic league, not the international team, obviously. I just thought that would be quite interesting. So I want to go Finn Harps. I've talked about Finn Harps on Twitter before. I might have mentioned them on here as well. I don't know why, but I've always had this sort of natural affinity drawn to Finn Harps. I can't remember what the reason why, but they're one I'd like to go. I don't even know if they're on the game, in fact, if they're in the Premier League, but I'll have a look for them. And we're going to go into some more obscure leagues soon, hopefully. Obviously, this will be with a more established manager profile, so that is the difference. I think I would much rather play this game with a more established manager profile. I know some people don't like that. I know that's like not the point of the game, but if that's the way I want to do it, it's a video game. Shut the fuck up. We're getting away from this now because there's 10 minutes to go here, and Olympiacos are on the attack. Again, the strikers haven't actually been too bad, but they've not been amazing. They haven't blown the doors off. I'm trying to think who to take off here. I'm going to bring... Actually, no, Ferry's done a fine job. I mean, he's a great backup. I don't think I need to change anything, really. In fact, you know what I will do? I am going to bring on... Oh, I haven't got any more defenders. Damn. Okay, I'm not going to change anything. Let's just go defensive. And I might just slightly deeper waste time. I didn't pause it, but it doesn't matter. Not the best game in the world, but I think that should be a winning start, provided... Oh, hang on. May have spoke too soon. Stones gets it away. Jimmy, I trust that's not his surname. I assume he's South American or something. Oh, and Stones gets it away. They've got a corner. There's about 10 seconds to go, in fact. This will be the last action of the game, and Donnarumma, that's what I want to see, confident, and all over. So that was nice. I managed to fit a little conversation there. So Barcelona and Ajax have actually drawn. Blind was the captain. I think he is my new vice captain, actually. I should point that out because De Jong has gone. Let me just show you real quick. Sorry, this should be tactics, not there, sorry. Yeah, this is, vice captain is now Daley Blind, because his determination 17, leadership 14. Probably the most suitable, really. Also want to introduce you to this guy. I know he's injured at the moment, but and this is what I mean. You have a lot of good young players coming through these teams, and you want to be there when they get come through. He's called Samuel Gutti, and them stats are pretty good. He's just turned 17 last week or week and a half ago. I think that's pretty good. That's impressive. 16 vision. And a midfield player. You're talking. I see a lot of Xabi Alonso in this guy. Maybe I'm a bit over the top, but we'll see. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that. Here's how the board are looking. The fans enjoyed the fact that Benteke left. What does that tell you? I think the same might be said for Liverpool fans at the moment, although they are disappointed with Bertolacci. I don't know, is he actually from Milan? Oh, he's Roman. Oh, fair enough. So there we go. That is really all I've got to say. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be back then. Let's see, if we've got a good game coming up. Ooh, should we try maybe the Roma or the Inter game? There's quite a lot of games in the way there, so maybe not. Should we maybe do Napoli or Ajax? I'd hate to constantly do the Champions League games, but they are the best games. So who's this? There's a team I've never heard of before. Spezia. Ah, that's quite interesting. I'll be intrigued to play them. So this is our fixture list. Play Inter relatively close to the end of the season. And Barcelona, the game against Barcelona at home is the final game, so hopefully that will be a dead rubber and I don't have to worry. Thanks very much for watching then. I will see you then for the next video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.